My first experience in Jiu-Jitsu, I came in, I had just finished doing the World Championships.
Okay.
So I was pretty big, pretty muscular. I was training really, really heavy. And the instructor is named Mike Casey. He says, so he looked at me, he's like, oh, so you wrestle? I said, I don't do anything. He says, well, you know, they were doing some drills. And he said, do you want to do a little sparring? And I was my first class sparring.
Yeah.
I said,
You're like,
and
I might hurt somebody.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's how I felt.
I don't want to hurt
I
anybody.
was bigger than everybody else, and, you know. And he says, no, you know, he brought this young kid over, blonde hair, 140 pounds.
Right.
He said, why don't you wrestle
start
with him?
here.
Yeah, roll around with him a little bit. We're gonna put him on your chest and just throw him off.
Just
get him off you.
Right. And you're like, no problem. How high is your ceiling?
I could not get him off.
Right.
And I was, at one point, I'm breathing heavy, and he's looking at me like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? So he goes, all right, now let's go to submissions. Even though you know submission, just put him in a place where he can't do anything. No punching.
Okay.
But if you want to strangle him, if you want to grab his arm, whatever you can do it to him. All I learned that day was how to tap.
Really?
Because he strangled me, he armbarred me. It was like, I felt like it was all over me.
You're like,
you know, and
all these muscles for nothing.
Yeah, I was exhausted, and he was looking at me, wasn't even breathing heavy. He was like,
wow.
are you okay?
How humbling is that?
You want to slow down?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him, you gotta be shitting me.
You want some water?
I want to kill this kid. So he's like, listen, why don't you train with my brother? And for
He's
a little
even
while,
smaller.
He's a little bit thinner, and he was a twin. He came over, and he kicked my ass too. And the instructor, Mike, was just laughing the whole time.
Sure.
He says, well, what happened to all those muscles? You know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness. So, you know, some guys get turned off and say, I'll never come back. To me, I was like, I got to learn this.
Challenge accepted.
So,
right.